My roleplay show is happening across the country. The tour is chugging along. We've been to the Lyric. We've been to Antrim. Where are we going next? That's right, Portico and Portaferry. We're coming for you, baby. So if you want to get tickets, follow the link in the description of the podcast or head to daveelliottcomedy.com and get your tickets for the roleplay tour now. It's going great. We're loving it, and I want to come and see you wherever you're coming to see me, I guess. The Sly Guy podcast is on Patreon. That's right. We have a Patreon page that supports the podcast. Now you're looking at this now going, this is the studio we know and love, the Sly studio we've become accustomed to, but we're changing. This is the last episode in the studio as it looks like this. From next week, we'll have a sweet new logo, we'll have a sweet new setup, and that'll all be down to the support that we get on Patreon. So if you want to be part of that team, you get bonus content, early access to tickets, you get vlogs, you get to ask questions on the regular podcast, and you get loads more. Head over to patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast or follow the description link below, and you can get straight to the Patreon and subscribe to all that juicy bonus content and see what's going on. Speaking of the Sly Guy podcast is brought to you by Modest Beer. Modest Beer is delicious and good for your health and skin. That's not what they say. I'm just saying it. I feel like my health and skin's better when I have a few tins of Modest. I also feel like my health and skin's better when I'm wearing Modest merch, which you can also check out at their website, www.modestbeer.co.uk. You can see the range of beers, you can see the range of merch, and you can listen to me talking about them all day, but just go and check it out yourself. It's much more enjoyable. Or again, if you don't want to go and type it into the World Wide Web, you can follow the link in the description of the video, and you can buy some Modest gear over there. And if you want a discount, use the code SLYPA15 at checkout, and I'll get you 15% off. Don't worry about it. It's a good time. Davey sent you. I love Modest. They love you. I love Modest. I love you. Yeah. Niche.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen of the world, welcome to this week's Sly Guy podcast. Wherever it is you're listening, whatever country you're in the world, big shout out to the Malaysian crew who listen every week. Respect. I hope yous are well. I hope yous are getting this good, and I hope yous are feeling positive, because that's what we're all about here in the Sly Guy podcast. Although it's the Sly Guy podcast, we like to give off about stuff, we like to vent, we like to be, it's still to make you guys feel good. So wherever it is yous are listening, I hope yous are feeling well, unless you're some of the pricks that make comments on shit, and you can just go and get stuffed. Yeah, I nearly swore there, but I didn't want to, because apparently that affects YouTube, because everyone's so flipping goody two-shoes these days, can't say naughty words. Shush. I nearly went and swore again there, but I don't want that to be affected. Welcome to the show, wherever you get it. I hope that yous are feeling well. I hope yous if you're watching on YouTube, enjoy the look of the pod, because we're changing. As of next week, our studio's going to be different. We've been working with the guys at Visual Antics. They've come up with a new Sly Guy podcast look, a new Sly Guy podcast logo, and with that, there's going to be Sly Guy podcast. Hold on. I can't get my top off. That's embarrassing. There's going to be Sly Guy podcast merch. What about that? You can't even see it because it's yeah. What about that? We're going to have merch. I'm a fashion. Am I a fashion model now? Can I call myself a fashionista? Dave Bautista, the fashionista. Let's unveil it. Dislocated my shoulder. Sore. Am I even wearing Sly Guy merch today? Yes. Here we have it. You got the sweet Sly Guy podcast merchandise, the peace sign. That's all going to be available for you guys. You can head to my website, daveelliottcomedy.com, and you can look at all the merch. You can see the logo, what's coming as the next week. You can jump on board. You can see the new Fox logo, beautifully done by the guys at Visual Antics. Check them out. Check Visual Antics out for a load of other podcast merch and gear, including the merch of my guest today. You could say he's a man, because he is. You could say he's a myth, which is probably not true because he's here and he exists. And you could say the man's a legend. It's the one and only Paddy McDonnell. This episode was fun, it was silly. It's what you would expect from Paddy, but also was a bit more. We had some serious chat on there too. We spoke about how he's preparing for not only one but two boxing fights. We spoke about his incredible weight loss and how he's looking so well now. We spoke about comedy in general, and but being dad guys. It was fun. It was a fun episode. And I really enjoyed sitting down with Paddy. So if you want to settle yourself down, relax. I think I said settle, which is a combination of sit and settle. So I'm gonna claim that I meant to say that. If you settle yourself down, and relax, get the kettle on, go and have a wee cup of tea and enjoy this week's episode with two athletes, two fucking pumped guys, me and the dagger, Paddy McDonnell. Get into you. Speaking of, Paddy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, mate. I nearly didn't make it. Apologies.
I know. I thought, you know, 'cause you're one of the ones who you sort of don't have to worry about times. Like, see if it was like Willie, you'd be like, Willie, where the fuck are you?
Oh yeah, I know.
You know, whereas with you, like, I'd be grand. And I thought we sort of did that old kind of dad thing where you're like,
you do it
this time,
yes.
yeah, what time? 11, sweet, and then don't mention it again for like another 2 weeks, and then
or tell them
here we are.
When I'm meant to be here, but I'm here now. Sorry,
you're here,
I hate being late. I hate being late.
But it's a good one of those things. It wasn't like I was sitting like this. Fuck it, you know, it was had stuff to do. It's grand, but you're a changed man. You're getting ready for the boxing change. I was going to say, out with the old in when you've got your glasses on now. Is this a new look, or is this an eyesight thing?
It's an eyesight thing. It has to have to wear them, and also part of it is a daddy thing where the wee one at 4 has to wear them. So she's like, you don't wear your glasses. Right, one of them moments where they say stuff and you're like, that was too smart, you wee fucker.
Yeah.
So, but no, that I have to wear them now because I'm like blind.
And was it one of those things you knew you were, or are you getting a head bait off you in training? You're like, oh no, my eyes are bad. I was
looking like that. Well, you can't wear them training is the problem, but I would be like sort of squinting my eyes trying to see. So yeah, it was a bit of a bollocks that way.
But you know what? You look deceiving now. Like you look like a proper like a learned gentleman, you know.
An academic.
You do. You look like
an academic. An academic smick.
Yeah. They're the ones to watch out for, you know.
Oh, I know what I mean. Like,
see a lot of academics. This is probably disrespectful to any academic smicks out there, but a lot of time they do that for the women. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's not for
stick a pair of glasses on, look apart.
But no, you do. You look smart. You look smart, and I can't, you know, say anything. I actually, the one thing I can say about me is I have the best eyes of all time. You know, like I actually when I went to Specsavers, my wife, do you ever have this thing with your wife where you'll be good at something or there'll be something and she'll be like, no, that's not right, you need to go and get checked out, and you're like, no, I am. She'll go, no, I'm booking you. There's no fucking way you can say you're going to Specsavers. Yeah.
She thinks everything's wrong with you.
Oh, 100%. You know the latest she's gone to me. I don't know. We were away a couple of weeks ago. She had a few drinks in her, and just all of a sudden goes, "You're not 6 foot." Like, but I am. I've been measured. She goes, "Nah, Shane is, and you're not." Like, and I'm like, "No, we are the exact same height, but I look shorter than him because I'm much wider this way." And she's like, "Nah," and it must have been in her head annoying her, and she just waited, and for some reason that was one thing it just irked me a bit, you know. And then same with the glass, she brought me down to Specsavers, made me do that, and then whenever the optician came out and was like, "Oh, you're grand," she was like, no,
I check it again.
I was like, just go, but you're alright.
Even when they do that and you do want to like prove them wrong, when you do prove them wrong, it's sort of like a double-edged sword. Like when you make a cunt out of them, like, it's not good.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to just go, oh, I know, you're right, I'm not.
I know, and then just wear glasses with no glass in, just for the sake of her.
Yeah.
Because she has glasses, and now our wee one, our big one, has glasses. 6-year-old. But now she's taken to wearing them all right. But Catherine would do more lenses and things like that. But Holly's just straight in wearing the glasses. She's actually, I feel, living too much of the nerd life now. Like, she's too into it, like reading her books and all, being smart.
What way are you getting on?
I know. It's like, you're scunner me.
People
Don't
be like Paddy McDonnell, be an academic smirk. I do classes. If you want me to do classes,
that'd be great.
Teach your daughter to be less of a nerd.
I know, but sometimes she'll come home because she's getting into Jesus at the minute through like a youth club, and
big shout out to Jesus.
Yeah, big shout out to the man himself. You know, but she comes home and she'll tell me all about him. She'll be like, you know, and then again, Catherine has this side in her where she likes a wee bit of an argument. So Holly comes home and like, she's singing this wee song, and it's like, Jesus is the only reason I do this. She's like, hold on, it's the only reason you're. I think she's 6, doesn't matter. She goes, no, you do for you. You know, you look at it, it's not about. And I just like, just let her go.
I know. I remember our Portico says, I was in the church and I heard him talking to me, and I wanted to go, you're full of bollocks. Do you know? But it's a kid. You have to sort of just let them.
Yeah, but it's what age did they get? Because I don't know. I think I always had a bit of a idea of what I thought was right or what I thought was wrong. Now, I had a teacher who, in my school, she was a substitute teacher. Now, to me as a pupil, horrendous, like a demon. She was awful, but she was quite like high up in our church, and people loved her there. And I couldn't get my head around. I was like, hold on, guys, no. She's a bitch. Like, don't be.
I see her on a daily basis here, and she's not what you think.
And that's what I thought. I was like, you know what, church, this is what's going on. There's something not right about the church here. You know, I was like, that if we're telling you what's good and bad, she can't be one of the good ones.
Listen, as a Catholic, I know exactly what you're talking about. I would have been very religious up until I was about 12, 13.
And what was the turning point?
Just a bad experience in the Catholic chapel, so...
Was it like a generic, like a sort of stereotypical type thing that maybe
yeah,
people joke
but it wasn't.
about?
It wasn't. It's. I've spoke about it on another podcast, which is more to do with this as a comedy one. We'll not go into it, but yeah, it was abuse, not of a sexual nature, but a more an empowering thing, and it just turned me completely. Like it changed me even as a person.
Yeah.
Like my mum remembers, like she says, I remember you just came in from school and you were like, I've got in trouble there for fucking hitting fucking 3 people a day, and she was like, that was just like a sort of overnight thing where it just changed.
So you wouldn't, I take it before you wouldn't have?
I wouldn't have been I was a nice kid, like, do you know what I mean? It changed me as a person. And I think it's because when you have a negative experience of something that you believe in, it can make you do that. It can make you go, like, completely the opposite. And I went off the fucking rails, like, for years because of it.
See, and that's the thing. I suppose now, like, whenever you have your own kids, you'll be more guarded about stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like what?
From an early age, our kids are told, like, if anybody touches you there or does this or does that, you immediately tell somebody or tell us because that's inappropriate and it's not right. So I don't hide things away from my kids. I sort of, like, tell them just because of that. And also, now, I wouldn't say that if, like, in terms of the Catholic Church and stuff like that, I don't go to mass or don't. But there's something, I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know, so if my kids ask me, I just go, there's something there. There is something there.
Good or bad or
both? No, I think that's something good. I do think there's something good out there. But I do think there's something bad as well.
Yeah.
And I think the bad's put there to either test you or put you down the right path. I'm one of them ones that believes that everything happens for a reason. Sort of people.
And do you believe? Because I wouldn't be massive, but I would think rather than I believe wholeheartedly in something, I don't not believe in stuff. If that makes sense. So I'm not like this is the way it is, but I'm like certain wee things happen in life, and I'm like there's more than coincidence. Right?
Yes, you know, 100%. Yes, I find it hard to know what it is or my intelligence level or where I'm at. I'm not in the position to actually think I know what it is, but there's something.
But see, when you mention that intelligence thing, I actually find it's people who would not be that intelligent feel too strongly about stuff, and that's where the problems are, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, no.
It's definitely, religions were formed. There's something, and that's why there's religions. And then the religions have been used over the years to put people down a path or to control them or to make them obey. And like the more I read into even my own religion, what they did to women and the way that they treated people and they manipulated people during the past, and I'm just like, you know, that's no good.
Yeah.
That wasn't good. They made it out that they were the good and you done what they told, but there's a lot of stuff they done that wasn't good, and you're just like,
it's
fuck
like,
you. Like.
But that's like whenever you look at, like, I remember watching the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson in it.
It's a great movie, by the
and
way.
I was like, hold on. The British are bad? Well, they're my guys. What's going on here? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
Whereas I was watching, I was going, get into the bastards!
But
Our man is it, we only live 20 mile apart, and that's the difference.
But it's I see with me growing up, I was literally, because I'm from mixed marriage. My mum's side was Catholic, and my granny or her mum would have been like going to chapel all the time. She's like, you know, like just a wee Catholic old woman. That would have just been her.
But this is the thing, we women like that, they were made to believe that was life. Like you lived your life that way.
Yeah, but no, she did that, and she was. Whereas my other granny, my dad's mum, who, my dad, loved her to bits, loved me to bits. I think she only joined the church and got really into it when my dad brought a Catholic girl home. She's like, "Oh, I'll show you," and she was in the Presbyterian Women's Association and all. And I just remember going to church with her, thinking as a kid, you're like, "Fuck, this is a drag," not knowing I'm only going there because my mum and dad want to rid of me for a couple of hours. Probably God knows what they're getting up to on a Sunday morning together, we hangover, you know. But I was like,
plus they also probably says if you want to take him down that route, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I think once I was able to make a decision, I'm like, I'd rather just stay at home on a Sunday, you know, fuck me.
It's 45 minutes of my life I don't go back.
And I always remember getting into real trouble once, because the Presbyterian Church, shockingly enough, tried to be a wee bit cool whenever I was a kid. So they had, gave you magazines in Sunday school, or but it was like superhero Jesus, God magazines, and I gave you a poster of Jesus. So in the middle he had a 2-page, but just not even, just straight up, just his head, right? And me and my mate were like, this would be good fun to like cut a hole in his mouth. So we cut a hole in his mouth, and we're going like, really? And I've never been.
See if there is a Jesus, I think he'd love that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if there's a Jesus, he would have had a good sense of humor about him, because some of the shit that he did.
Walking on water.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, he was just
on the fuck. That's showing off.
Yeah, he's just and
showboating. You think the Cristiano Ronaldo of the religion, like, wasn't he?
It's Neymar.
We see us here. What's wrong? We only got one face up. Watch. Feed everybody.
But all the boys would be like, "Fuck me, I'm starving. I'm thirsty," and they're like, "Guess we're here."
Jesus.
There'll be carry out for you. You know?
Jesus, I'm fucking finding the toughest. Turn that there for me.
Or you imagine one of your mates, you're just like, "Fuck, I'm thirsty," and he's necking him.
If he was alive today, he would definitely have Jesus juice out, wouldn't he?
Yeah, just like going head.
It'd be like dragon soup of fucking Jesus juice.
But that'd be because they would need to have some sort of mix, because you drink it white, but whenever it has alcohol in it,
like Willy Wonka's fucking gobstoppers, different flavours every day.
Oh, fucking Jesus juice, that'd be.
Jesus juice.
But Jesus juice was the thing Michael Jackson gave a kid, so we need to separate.
That's why I said hey juice. Make it Spanish sounds a wee bit better.
Yeah, it definitely does. But okay, it's just a weird thing, and especially being from here, obviously people make such a deal. But now that I'm kind of, I don't. As long as the kids are behave themselves, that's it. You know, as long as they know right from wrong, and if they can.
Yeah, I tell my kids, I says, just treat everybody the way they treat you. Do you know what I mean?
Now, as a dad, would you be one? I imagine you'd be the sort that if your kids are getting grief in school, you'd be like, smack them. I would still have that about me. See, if I had trouble, see all this, go to
like eventually, like I would get to that stage. Do you know what I mean? I remember going to see a dad one time because there was problems happening, and he was like, I have them like that, and I'm not changing them. And I was like, that was that moment, where I went, oh, Bart, don't come back near my door then, because I've already tried to have the conversation with you. And I got him, and I was like, you punch the fucking head out of his
You get him.
And he was so nice. Our product, he was like, nah, I don't want to, you know, I don't like hurting people. And then eventually he just fucking dacked out, and I went, good lord. You know?
Yeah, but see, that's the hard one. If your teachers come in, you're like, he said you told him to hit you.
Michael,
yeah. Because you weren't doing anything about it.
Yeah, fuck you.
Because I remember I had trouble in school. Like, I didn't like, there was this guy who tortured me, and I didn't like confrontation. I always sort of thought, you know, I was always big, and it's like I could if I needed. And I remember this one guy was giving me grief, and my dad was like, just get him, and I didn't want to hit him, so I ran as fast as I could and belly bounced him. But I belly bounced him, and he went back and hit his head off, you know, those steps of temporary classroom and his head split open, and all the blood was everywhere. Never messed me again, but I got into the bother, and they're like, what happened here? And my dad was like, yeah, he was getting grief from him, and I told him to fight him back, and I think he just ran into it and pushed him into these steps. And
I didn't even hit him.
No, it didn't hit him, it just belly bounced him. But that was, I mean, back in the day, that was a move.
That's what I can do, that kid, you know what I mean? I haven't even fucking hit you yet, and you're busted your head up.
See the power? When I did that, I couldn't believe it. But I shit myself. No, because he flew.
Couldn't you realised it?
I haven't belly bounced anyone since, Paddy, because I fucking wrecked him. Like, it was
I'm sure you've belly bounced it in
the
bedroom before.
Yeah, I've done more damage than that. Like,
fuck me, I busted somebody's head. I belly bounced the missus and I had 2 kids.
Fucking hell, I'm actually embarrassed, and I've never talked about the word belly bounce publicly before. I belly bounced him. What a wee fruit I was.
Why not? Because then you didn't hurt your hands. You didn't hurt yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a power move.
Yeah, that is a big. But the more people need to bring that back, because no one would expect to see if you go run that.
I know.
Hit you. Poof.
Take that. Maybe I should do that to Mickey Bartlett.
I mean, that's the thing. How do you feel? Because now, last time out, you fought Roe. this time around you're fighting Paddy and you're fighting the Bear. You've two fight. You're the Jake Paul of Northern Irish boxing, because you're taking it seriously. And I must say, credit where it's due. You're in great nick. The training is it a combination of diet, training? What's the sort of how have you done this?
Boxing training, just constant,
flat out. And is your head just in the zone? Are you treating it?
Once I got told I was going to be made disabled, I sort of went, right, okay.
Like, now was that Mickey threatening you, or was that?
He didn't say it directly to me, but he said it on a podcast that he was going to make me disabled. So I was like, oh. All
right, because so that was the thing that lit the
fuse.
Mm-hmm. And so what was the first course of action? Because I'm a bit of a plateau at the minute, but I've lost 13 kilograms from the start of the year. I'm trying to get back onto it again. So, what was the first thing you did? Because some people listen and they go, I don't know where to start. But
it wasn't even the fighting, the boxing that didn't come into it. It was when we done the, what do you call it?
Stars in Your Eyes.
Stars in Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I ordered like 2 different tops, and they came. And then I was at the doctor's, and he says to me, "Here, jump in the scales." And I jumped in the scales, and he says, "What weight do you think you are?" And I went 16 stone. And he was like, "You're 18'11", and you're 5'7". You're no longer working belt and sides and whatever. He says, you need to watch yourself.
Yeah.
And I went, right, okay. And I just went into the house, and I just says, and Andrew went, "Do what you need to do. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And support you." I was like, right. And I just started training, and then a guy got in contact with me, and me and him started working together with nutrition. And then once I got into it, I was just addicted to it.
And how do you find that like a comedian mindset is that if you have one thing you focus on, it's the thing. It sort of becomes a bit of a like, were you, because you I think you're similar to me, you wouldn't be a big drinker. No. So the weight, like for me, if I drank, fuck knows how.
No, I know.
The shape I'd have been in. So what do you think was it a lifestyle thing, just with gigging? Was it?
I think it was a lifestyle and just not. I've always had, even when I played sports, I always had to train more than other people, because they were convinced that I was eating too much and stuff like that. And I actually don't. Andrea lives with me, so she knows, and she goes to people all the time. Like, it's not that he eats too much or he doesn't eat that bad.
Yeah.
But the guy, the nutritionist, in the past 2 months we were going through it, and he's like, "I'm convinced your thyroid's fucking something wrong with it, because the amount of training I'm doing and whatever, even though I've lost 4 stone, I should be in photo shoot fucking shape, like, for the training I'm doing." And he's going like, fucking hell. So he's giving me a questionnaire, and we're going through that. But yeah, it's just, I feel better. Everybody's telling me I look well, and I feel better. I get up in the morning, and do you know what? It's good for the kids. Because I was getting to the stage where 44 now, 18 stone when you're 5'7", it very easy can head over to 20 stone. Yeah. And then you're taking heart attacks and getting sick and doing whatever. So it's good just to do it. And I think that was the thing, just put the head down, right, no, I'm definitely doing this. I don't want to look that way anymore. No, that or.
Yeah, and it's funny you mention it, because the Stars in Our Eyes was the thing that made me, because I was sick, really sick at that point. And then when I did that, the next day, a couple of days afterwards, I felt like shit, and I thought, I'm not, at the weight I am, helping me feel better. You know what I mean? I'm not. Now, again, touch wood, we're in May now, and I've had like the sniffles once, so I was getting sick all the time, cold, sickness, felt like flus, COVID, all that sort of shit. I was like, I'm just always sick and run down. So that's, I think, been the biggest thing, is the healthier you are, the better you feel.
And then I went to the opticians even, and he had a photograph of my eyes from last year, and then a photograph of my eyes from this year. And he says, "Look at the difference in colour." And I was like, "Well, what's that?" And he was like, "That's all the chemicals that was in your body."
See, that's the shit you don't even think about, is
that's
it?
Stuff that you don't even know. And he says, although your eyes is bad, he says they've actually improved, and that's because you're getting healthier. Yeah.
And it's the feeling better too, isn't it? Like, that's, I always felt it was everything. Like, I do a bit about it now in the show that I'm doing, but every time I had gone anywhere or moved anywhere, I'd been like, oh, fuck off.
What age are you?
37.
Do you know, like, I wish I had started it, like, because a couple of times I've lost weight and then didn't keep it up. So now I'm 44, I'm going, fuck, it is so hard, like, it is really hard, like, it's, I'm training like fuck.
But how then do you, obviously with leading up to the fights, whenever they're done, are you going to try and do a bit more?
That's why I took the second fight.
Right, okay.
So that'll keep me in focus.
Yeah, because what I had done was when I ran the leg of the marathon.
And then you feel like I'll take my foot off the pedal here. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And that happened after the boxing last year, because I'd done the boxing last year, and I sort of kept it going, but not to the same extent.
Yeah.
And then I went away to Ibiza, and I had been off the drink 6 months, and fucking went mental.
Yeah.
So, and then that was it, just back on the drink. And as you say, I don't drink much, but I would have had a couple of drinks a week. And if there was a night away or something that was going mental drinking, like.
Yeah. No, I get you. But it does get harder the older you get, I think, to stick to it. And again, I'm maybe finding what's helping me this time around is because my kids are a bit older.
Yeah.
You know, see when they're away, it's like your eating habits are shite. You're eating whatever you can. You're on the way to a gig, you're stopping at a petrol station, you're getting a burger.
Listen, completely.
You know?
I was away to Aberdeen at the weekend and like trying to get a proper meal the way I should be getting it was really hard. And I found an Indian that was a healthy eating Indian, and I went in there and I had a meal in there, and I was like, I'll have a meal in there the next day. But then I went to Glasgow for the match, and coming back up in the car, and they were like stopping for McDonald's and all. And I was like, no, I'm not eating. And then I didn't eat, so I didn't eat the whole day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So which wasn't good too, because I get up then on the Sunday and I was absolutely starving.
Yeah.
Didn't get training, then came home, went out for a family meal because it was my birthday, and then Monday went away to Galgorm for a night, had a couple of drinks in there, so it was like 5 days not training thing. And
Yeah.
last night I went boxing, like it was just like.
But it's a wee slog, isn't it? Getting back into it, it's almost like
5 days, and it feels like I've took 2 weeks off.
Yeah. And if you find that's definitely you're feeling it more now with age, because I'm fine like
recovery's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And when I played football, I remember there was a fella played with us, and he was absolutely brilliant, and he was probably about 37, 38, but he was the fittest guy on the team, and he was just like, he was a warrior on the pitch. And then he was like, that's me quitting, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, can't do it no more. And I'm like, you're the best player in the park, you're the fittest man I know. And he's like, you don't see me. He was a joiner for me. He says, you don't see me getting up on a Monday morning trying to go to work. He says, it's stopping me doing that. He says, so I can't do it no more. And now I'm at the age of, like, over him now, but I get the whole thing. Like, even when we play a comedian's football match or we do the boxing, I get it, because it's longer to recover from.
Yeah.
So.
And what's your recovery look like? Do you end all that? Because obviously now it's a big thing that started to happen. Like, people put as much into the warm up and the cool down. What you do afterwards? Are you taking any supplements afterwards? Are you doing all that
a wee
stuff?
bit of supplements,
stretching?
and what I'm doing is saunas and cold water therapy. So
see, that's one thing I've never dabbled in.
Do you know what? It took me a couple of weeks to fucking really get in. Like, but I'm getting there with it. Like,
but people say it gives you a buzz. Do you? Is that?
Oh, it
true?
definitely does.
Yeah.
I'd see that hot, going in and doing the hot, like you have to do 20 minutes in the sauna, and then coming out and then putting the cold on. It definitely keeps you going. Like it gives you that.
Yeah, like
something.
And then, but how long does that last? Like, you know, is it like a coffee? You know, when people you have a coffee, you're like, well, for maybe
no, I go
half
back
an
to
hour.
the house, and then you find that you don't even want to sit down.
Yeah.
You know, and then you sleep better. I've noticed you sleep better.
That's the big thing, isn't it? Sleeping. Like, I'm trying to put my phone down when I go to bed now and just read a book for half an hour, sleep, because that was what I was a nightmare for. And then you think, fuck, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I have this to do, I have that to do, to reply to an email.
Definitely take 10 minutes to meditate every day, and that I normally do that in the sauna. I try and get the sauna when I'm on my own.
Yeah.
And just put the head down for 10 minutes. And
see, what sauna do you go to?
I'm just in Gymco, so just do that. But there is wee private ones that you can go to and stuff.
But there's other stuff that goes on in a lot of those places too. You know what I mean?
I know, but that's all wee perks.
That helps. That helps with the meditation. Because there's a wee hole in the sauna I go to. I think it's for like wee tins of water come through or something. You know. But no, I'm too good at a sauna. I think that's one of the things that I'm like a big Turk. You know, like I can sit in the sauna for hours on end, but see when you get out and you go to a cold, I'm like, nah, you're all
don't
right.
like it. Nah, we done the Celtic Infusion, which is the sauna up in Galgorm, which is like a 12-15 minute eucalyptus oil in the thing, real high temperatures, and then he blows the air at you, and then you go out and there's a plunge pool outside.
That's the only plunge pool I've ever been in, actually. It's the Galgorm, and I was only doing it to show off to her. She's like, you don't get in there.
And they were all standing up, and I was like, watch it, like it. And he was like, put your head on the water. I was like, put my head on the water. I got there. And then I get out of it, and there was a couple get in, and they were only newly married. And he get in, and he was like, woo! I was like, I looked at Andrew and I went, what's it like having a hard man as a husband? She went, I wouldn't know.
But no, it's still a bit like I'm still kind of. I had a whole thing there for years about the sea swimmers. I say he's fucking, but it's massive now. I love it, and I'm sort of almost. I've been nearly convinced into doing it.
I'm scared of the sea.
Yeah, it's well. What about the sea? You're scared of?
I nearly drowned in it when I was 8.
And you not keen.
No, I go into it like, but do you know what helped when we went to Maldives on our honeymoon, and there was this English girl took us out snorkeling. Mm-hmm. And there was manta rays in the thing, and
that would scare me.
Like 20 of them, and she was like, "You'll never see this. There's never normally that many." And she just started splashing, turned around, and I was off the boat in the water, and she was like, "Holy shit!" You know?
And how long ago was that when you got married?
2007.
So was Steve Irwin still alive then?
Aye.
So you'd known what happened to him, you'd be like, "Nah, I'm not going to those guys." Fuck that.
These things just fucking swimming towards you with a big gaping mouth. And then they went on to you know.
That's probably what they were saying too.
It was probably going to say, "Fat bastard." I have a big mouth, but I couldn't swallow him. But honestly, it was fucking magical. Like.
Yeah.
And I think that, but still, the power of the sea scares the life clean out of me. Like. Because
I think it was Shane I was speaking to about this, that I got stuck. You know, when you end up on a scroll hole on your phone, I end up watching these videos of the North Sea, and it was just all this. It scared the shit. Like, see the big boats and all the containers falling off. I was like, fuck me. And then I thought my first thought was, fuck, you get a wee boat and go out there and fucking make a fortune. Just go and steal it all.
Do you know what? I went fishing off the coast of America with Andrew's brother when we were over there, and this is like 4 hours off. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'll go out. And we're on a wee 29-foot, 30-foot boat with 2 big motors in it, and they're fucking, and it's pitch black. And I remember holding on to the side of the boat just going, the fuck am I doing? And then we get out, and it was really calm, which was good. So we were fishing for flounder and tuna and stuff like that, and it was roasting, and there's nowhere to escape. There's only a wee stupid cabin, but when you go in there you get cabin fear. And Paul went, "Jump in quick," and I was like,
"To sea?"
And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Jump in and just at the side of the boat, just hold in." And I was like, "I'm not jumping in, I'll get it." He was like, right and I get in and fucking he was like, "Let go of the boat." And I let go, and the fucking went from here to literally like 50 yards away from me, and I could hear my heart pounding.
Yeah,
I'm going, there's a shark's just going to fucking come up and eat me right now.
Did you not want to fucking beat the head of him when you got on?
I swear to God, I was like,
Jesus Christ.
I didn't go back out again.
Yeah.
I didn't go back out again with them. It fucking rattled my kids. Like.
I'm sure, because imagine, even for a joke, that could kill you. Like, if he's left you, you die.
I could hear my heart beating.
Jesus, I
swear to God, I was panicking. But then, as I say, 2007, went and done that snorkeling and all, and I loved it. Jumped in the middle of the sea with manta rays and all. It was just unbelievable. But so from it, I've always had a thing. But I love the sea. Like, I love being by the sea, and I love the beach and putting your footprints first thing in the morning, being the first person to put footprints in the beach and all. I think that's all fucking.
And is that something? Would you say you're a changed man? You seem very zen. Everything seems very good for you, the man, Paddy. Very relaxed, very peaceful.
I find myself in better moods, no?
Like, because now I would be very skeptical of things like, you know, the whole like wellness and motivation push that seems to have happened certainly since COVID, where people are saying like, you need to get up first thing, bare feet into the soil, you need to meditate, you need to do
like, I'm not a full on guru that way, but I mean, definitely there's a lot to it. Like, I do feel good, you know, I walk different and I feel different, and yeah, I think it's because we get photographed all the time and noticed all the time. You know, it's one of them ones now where people are more positive towards me. I found there's not as much hate even online, and I'm going, this is strange, like, that there's not. Whereas, like, you just was constantly getting "you're a big fat bastard" and you know, like real negative comments. Whereas now you're getting a lot more positive ones, and it's people going, "You're looking really good, man. Keep going. You're an inspiration." And you're going, "Fuck," and you don't realise that. You're going, "Fuck, we're putting ourselves out there," and there's people. So you don't know how many people was feeling the same way as you, and they're looking and they're going, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
Would you think maybe that's one of the things too, that people are very quick, because again, it can annoy you, I think, on different times. Like, for the most part, I don't think I get that annoyed by comments or whatever. Sometimes the one, for some reason, it'll just really fucking wind you up. But I find a lot of ones people are to be pitied more because they're probably from their own problems and they're like, he's fucking this.
Most
and that,
people, when they're saying bad things about you, it's because they don't feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then if like what you're saying, they were saying that sort of stuff again. I've similar things myself. If they see you doing stuff, maybe they might like you, but they might be like, fuck, well, fair play, you know, and then go, fuck, well, if they can do it, let's give it a rattle ourselves.
100%. And there was a lot, whenever comedy, like, coming up through the years, there's a bunch of us, right? And I think we all thought back years ago that you had to do more than the other person, or you had to. I felt that, like, you know, like, how did he get that gig, or how are you doing that way, or you wouldn't tell somebody about a gig, or you would, you know, how did you get the gig over there? It was this, you know, people holding back. Whereas, like, I think COVID changed, and we all, I don't know, I just felt like after COVID, everybody was just like, let's go, just everybody together and support each other, and all the ones would support each other. I think everything, you know, changed that way. Yeah. And I feel a lot more togetherness with the comedians now. You know, a lot of people, somebody sent me a message, and I sent it to a couple of people. I don't know if you've seen it. Might have put it in the group. And a guy sent me this message, and he's like, yous have no idea how much good yous do. Like, you don't get the credit for the stuff you do, but I know we all do it for the crack. Like, when we have those charity nights, we do it for the crack, and because we're like a group of mates as well. But then you realise that, and you go, fuck, we are doing a bit. Like, you don't realise how much people pay attention to all us and would take example from it.
Because I mean, that's like you say, like the nights like the Stars in Our Eyes and other stuff. Obviously, I wouldn't say it with the boxing because it's much more of a commitment. But like the nights like a Stars in Our Eyes, it's like a social. So you're not doing it. You're raising a bit of money for a good cause, but then it's an excuse for us to get together with no pressure, a few beers, a bit of crack.
Yeah, and we're doing something that's different from what we normally do.
Which is always.
Well, I didn't go to the darts. You were at the darts, weren't you?
Yeah.
Apparently, that was some crack. Like,
the darts was it was just mental. It was the drunkest for sure. It was fucking wild. But
everybody just got drunk.
Yes. But there's a photo of me. I'll have to find it for you.
Who was the best dart player?
Well, Colin won, but no, I don't really know who was the best darts player. Because I don't know.
That name wasn't represented.
It was wild. Now, the one that should have probably done the best was Butler, because he doesn't drink. But everybody else was gargle.
So he was shit.
Yeah, he.
Let's face it, Butler was shit then.
Yeah, well,
he's not like the air but
he'll be annoyed about
everybody
that for sure.
Everybody was juiced to bollocks, and you still lost.
But it was great crack. But then it's like, what's next? I'm sure there'll probably be another Stars in Our Eyes towards the end of the year. But the darts was just, I mean, I could probably do 2 darts a year. Couldn't do more than that. Like, I was fucking
Catherine not like to do more than 2 darts a year?
No, she was like, you were absolutely fucking wild. And then, like, I actually got...
Was she there?
Yeah, she was there. I actually got sent away, because, you know, they do the club night afterwards.
Did you stay?
No, I was like, people would come to the stage and were looking to get photos, and I was like, fuck, I'll get photos of you, come on. So I was doing getting photos of everybody. Like, I was like on my like, you know, the stage is hard. I was like lying on my tummy getting photos. I was the drunkest man, sweatiest, drunkest bastard, all these photos of people, and then they're like, can you fuck off so we can throw people out? Yeah, it's alright. But it was great crack. Like,
you were loving it.
It was great. And I lost everything. Lost sunglasses. I had a chain I was wearing. Lost it. Lost them. Lots of my darts. Got a new set of darts. Lost them. But then I don't know if what happened to them. And I have I think I might have thrown them in the crowd, which is the worst things to throw fucking darts in the crowd of people. So I don't know.
It's just a guy walking about with a dart. You're not taking that out. Fucking sure, big development. You know what I mean? I'm fucking keeping that in.
But it was good crack. Like, so I think I don't really know. There's nothing really in that's that sort of level. So like no Stars in Our Eyes or darts sort of thing. So whatever's next, the boxing, obviously everyone will be on the protein and everything. But this time I'm going to stay afterwards for a few drinks.
Last year was really, really good. There's a photo of me, Mickey Bartlett hugging after the last one. Hopefully there's another one.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I've heard some changes this year. I've heard that there's going to be more of a definitive winner. In fights this year, so there'll be less draws. There'll be maybe less. Last time was all very like, there was a lot of camaraderie. I've heard that people are wanting to win this year.
There's a few people wanting to kill. I don't want to kill them, but maybe knock them out. I don't know.
Yeah, well, listen, that's the thing. Because what I remember from my perspective as commentating on it, the first fight, it was Cormac and Ian. And I just remember hearing the first hit. I was like, fucking hell, that's great. And it's
Bravo.
like, it really got you going. So I'm excited about it. I'm actually going to get a nice wee outfit and all this year because I look like a used car salesman.
Fade in it next year?
I tell you what, no, I'm not, because
You don't want to get addicted to it?
I don't want to hurt my teeth. That's the thing. I've spent too much money and got fucking teeth out and teeth fixed, and I couldn't be worse for that. And then I would get too into it, and then I think other things would waver. Do you know? So I just don't want to. I like watching it. I like commentating. I like being part of it, but I don't want to get hit in the face. Yeah, I'm ugly enough as it is.
That's a bit I like.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I wouldn't like that. I don't think. But yeah, like, you know what? There've been moments where I've been like, maybe, but you know, I don't know. I think and again, Catherine's like, I'm not having you do that. I couldn't afford to have your fucking big mug fixed, like. And then when I had a tooth out, I got a tooth out there a couple of years ago, and the dentist did say to me, she was like, I'll take that out, and she was like, had broken, and she had to pull out the roots, and she was like, I almost felt like she was putting her foot up and things. Like, she did say to me, and I don't know why I should be offended by this, that that's the biggest head I've ever worked on. It's like she actually went, that's like a gorilla's head. I imagine that'd be the size of a gorilla's head. So, you know,
what a fucking lovely dentist do you have.
And then another thing, I've said this about her before a couple of times now. I have moved since. She goes, do you want me to take the one out on the other side? And I was like, oh, does it need to come out? And she's like, no, probably not, but you know, while I'm here. I was like, well, no then, just fucking fill it. Because she's a very good dentist, very, very good at her actual job. But she worked on Harley Street in London for years doing like all the cosmetic dental work. So she wanted to put in the fucking, you know, implants in it. And she's like, she was seeing I'm a comedian, thinks there's money.
Dave's on blue lights now, so they're trying to give him the turkey taste treatment.
I wish I had the money to do that. Like, fuck me. But
I wouldn't get it.
I wouldn't get turkey teeth. I wouldn't go, but I would definitely get the one in there. But
I went and got like this thing where flexible bridge thing that you can put in that gives you a full mouth of teeth, because after doing the blame game I noticed that you can see when I smile missing. But I talk well this with it in, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, and you know what? I also think as a comedian there comes a point, I think, with comedians where it goes beyond just being funny, and people take like, and then they get their teeth done, and then they get all like, see, even you're looking at Jimmy Carr now, you're like, you look weird.
Yeah, you know, can see he's getting loads of work done.
Yeah, and I think you have to kind of go, like, I did it with the hair. I was like, it's gotta go. You know, wasn't vain with it, but I was like, gotta go.
I know I said to you, Baldy, and you went, I know.
Yeah, I know. It
Sorry,
was
Dave.
But
Sorry.
you know what? It was one of those things where
I think you look good with it.
I feel better with it, but it's one, like, I mean,
it was just getting used to it.
Yeah, no, but Butler was the one who was like, you should get a hair transplant. I would do, and I was like, yeah, because you're saying from your perspective, like, I'm cool with being bald. It doesn't bother me at all. Now I know that's each their own, but to me, I just always think hair transplants look like wigs nowadays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They just, unless you have a wee bit down at the front,
you can tell.
And I was like, at the end of the day, I think I'll look alright with a bald head. Yeah. It's going to be what's going to be anyway. And
I think the beard takes away from it too.
Yeah, but see, when I took a beard off, it started, and fuck me, I've never been self-conscious in my life. I was like, look at you, just that big fat head.
Like, if I took my beard off, the kids would cry.
Oh, mine did. Actually, I'll see if I'll find this video quickly. When I shaved my beard, I showed the wee one. And she was like, well, let's see her wee face now. She
didn't know who you were.
She was like, no, she had no clue. Let's see how there's it just shaved off. There, I think this is it here. Hold on.
Your veins. What about it? Your veins. Do you miss it? Yes.
Look at
wrong? Your veins. Do you not like it?
Didn't like it at all. I was like, your beard's gone.
Still cute.
And then I thought I was gonna go out, and I thought like Catherine would be like, oh, it's all right.
She was like, oh my god, she was like, freaked out.
But then, you know, when you say stuff, you're like, that the beard's irrelevant, and what you're saying there, she's like, you're so ugly, your face is stinking. I'm like, fucking same face, just no beard on.
I know. I see photos of me with no beard. A fella sent me, there's a mate of mine, like, and he the past couple of weeks he's just constantly sent me photos of me, and he's going, I can't believe how much you've changed, like.
Because there was one I saw you recently that was like a memory came up of, remember we did the Northern Irish comedians against the, oh wow, you look like a lesbian or something.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like that's when I first started comedy. Like
Yeah.
I
Can you
was,
send me and I'll get it put up on this?
I was like,
That's great.
I was like 5 months into comedy. Or
How
like,
old are you there? You look about 21. And here you look a lot more like you're Sean there, facially, don't you?
yeah, I was. I think I must have been 32 or yeah.
See, you look way younger than that. See, I've always looked this age, even when I was friggin'
Yeah.
no age at all.
So it's a fucking weird one. Like, but he's just been sending them to me, going, I can't believe how much
Here,
you've.
I'm going to show you one. I'll make you sick. I made him. I say this guy's he's a mate of mine, but he sent me this, and I was actually embarrassed for myself because it was whenever I was younger, and I thought I was a big fat bastard, and he sent me these photos, and I was like, what I would give to be a fat
That's
bastard
it.
again. Look at that. I don't even look like myself.
No, you look great there. I remember you like that.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know what happened, like, but I fucking look great there.
Yeah.
So I see that and I'm like, oh dear. Like I wish somebody could have come to me at the time and been like, stay as fat.
Yeah.
You'll be alright.
Do you ever see pictures of Mickey Bartlett when he's younger? The blonde hair, and all,
Yes.
like good looking young fella. Like.
Yeah, he's aged alright. Like we all have. Like that's the thing you forget. Like we've been doing this. Like I think this is my 10th or 11th year doing it, and it must be. You know, like I still remember the early days. 'Cause I was in FNT when I started out, and then went into stand up. And I remember one of my earliest gigs. I think I've told you this before. Was whenever we did that Murthathon, was Auntie Annie's, and I had to call up the next act, and they were like, "He's already been on," and I didn't know really anybody at the time. So I was like, "Who's up next?" I was Johnny McCarthy in his wheelchair, and then you bollocks, and I didn't know you at all at this time. And you're like, "He's up next," and I didn't know who it was, like what his name was. And I was like, oh, what was his name? He goes, just bring him up. I was like, fucking, someone go tell me. No one told me his name. And I went, this wee fella down here. And then jumped off. And you were like, oh, you're like, you fucking bollocks and all. And you're going to wheel him up. And I was like, I'll help you get him on stage. And you're like, no, I'm grand. I'll do it myself. And I was like, fuck me. And you just lifted him up yourself. And I went away feeling like such a bastard. I was like, and you're like, I can't believe it. No, it's fucking.
Oh, did I look disgusted though?
Yeah, you were like, oh. And then because you would have gigged with Johnny a lot, like, and I know now with hindsight, you'd have helped them on stage lift, and you could, but when you did it in such a way, I don't know whether you're being a bollocks or not, but you lifted him. It looked like you were lifting one of the fucking boulders in the world's strongest man. You were like, oh, and I could have just helped you, and you were like, no, fuck off, you know, leave me alone. You've done enough damage. I was like, fuck. I left that going. I ate shit for fucking however length of
I
time.
think we all did that day, to be honest with
Bloody
you.
hell! What even was that? Like, as I meant, like, was that one of the early door charity events? Was it like 24 hours or something they were trying to do?
I don't know. There were so many, like 100 comedians or something on, and they were all doing like 5 minutes. And I went on like near the end, and
Yeah.
like there was no audience. It was just comedians.
I don't know. Like, I mean, could you do something like that nowadays? I don't know. I wouldn't want to organise it. There was actually a fella who
Big show in the SSE for charity.
I know, but how long does it last? 2 days. You know,
I think that's too much.
It'd be wild. You need to, if you were to do something like that, it'd have to be somewhere like a Limelight on
I
a
think
day
that's
quiet.
why when they do like that Channel 4 one, and they have it in an arena, it's everybody gets like a minute.
Yeah, but there's so much. That is one of the good things. There's so much going on for charity at the minute that, like, there's always something to be done. There's always gigs to be on, and it's always the fun one. So, I don't know. What do you think at the minute? Because I know some people say that the boom that followed COVID is starting to regulate itself out. Are you finding that, or do you still think everything's?
No, I think it's regulating. I definitely think it is. I think it'll plateau out. I think it'll slow down because so much was happening, and then also on top of that, we had all the comedians coming from all around the world, like here.
Yeah.
You know, so people are like, for fuck's sake. So I think everyone's going to have their fan base, and then it's just going to push on from there, you know. And what it'll be is just everybody. I mean, you can't have 5 people doing the fucking arena every year.
Yeah. Because, you know, someone said something to me, again, in my naive state, was like, fuck, that's a fair point I haven't thought about. They're like, you think about a big show, so say you're showing the SSE, or say, like, I'm doing one of my tour shows.
4th of October.
4th October,
Tickets
Dagger
are
Show,
still on sale.
SSE. And for, say, a couple with kids to go and see you, that's a night out. You know what I mean?
No,
it's like,
and you
it's
know,
a hard thing.
the regional tour really opened my eyes to that, because we done 2 SSEs, and they were like, are you going on tour now locally? And I was like, no, I just done 2 SSEs. Why the fuck is nobody going to go? And they're like, and we ended up doing 2 shows every place we went.
Yeah.
And I'm like, people just genuinely can't go to the fucking arena all the
Yeah.
time. You know, so it's that's the diehards. That's the you know, people going to see. They want to go and see it in the arena, and then you have all the people who are in the wee towns. And I was in Portaferry, 2 shows in Portaferry, 600 people. There's 1,000 people live in the town,
Yeah.
and 600 people went in Portaferry, and I'm going, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to them, and they were like, well, you either drive up and stay the night, or you drive up, you get a meal, and then you drive home again. One person doesn't drink, or you get a hotel. So I'm going, so if they wanted to go to my show, they have to buy 2 tickets to get a hotel room, and then they'll drink. Whereas if they can wait and they go and see me in Portaferry, so that's what happens, you know.
Yeah.
So it's...
Was that in Portaferry actually in June? Portico, was it?
That's great.
Yeah.
It's so, and you love it, Presbyterian Church.
Yes. Back at
But
home.
it doesn't look like your typical building that you would have here.
Yeah.
Like when we pulled up there, it was lit up.
Big and yellow, isn't it?
And
Like
I
a
was
big...
like, this looks like something in Greece.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go in and it's like, when I was on stage, I felt like the Blues Brothers, because you're on an actual stage. And the first night I done here, there, I went on stripping, because it was just after the
boys.
the Pleasure Boys. And the fella came in and he was like, that's great. He says that you're stripping there, and then Sunday there's going to be a sermon. And I was like, it's not still used. And he was like, no, it does. And I went,
Oh, well.
fuck.
Yeah. Because I have heard some chat about that particular venue that's sometimes you got to watch certain things maybe you do. Is that the case in your experience, or you just go and do it? Because that's what I'm just going to... Because there's only a couple of bits in my show, I think, that
They can't be putting that out as a venue for you to perform in, and that let you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And nobody has told me not to do anything.
You know, my entire show is an Islamic speech, trying to recruit people for... No, it's not really ISIS. So, no, not at all. But I'm looking forward to seeing. But it's one of those ones. You ever book a regional tours and go, who even lives here? Like where, you know?
Yeah, I'm feeling that in Enniskillen. Loads of people were like,
Is that the Ardoin? Is it?
No, I normally do that.
Yeah.
But this time we're doing the Killyhaviland, and we're fuck all tickets sold. Like.
Yeah, because that's a guy.
It's 8th of June. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on, people. Enniskillen, Killyhaviland.
You know what you need to do? Get down for a day on the boats. We'll go on the lakes. I'll shoot my promo and you shoot yours the same day. No problem. But
because there's, and then Ballycastle tickets are going really well up there. It's the 7th of June. So they were 2 added on shows, because it didn't do Ballymena, and people were complaining, and I was like, do you know what? Let's go to Ballycastle, because it's beside Ballymena and I haven't played it. So going there to give it a go, and it seems to be going well. Tickets, Dublin, nobody buying tickets.
No. It's fun, but
Glasgow's flying, but Dublin's great.
No, it's hard, because I haven't even booked any foreign tickets down south across the water or anything. Just I'm doing locally now to see, because we're sort of, because I'm doing it with a new promoter this time around, just to see how it goes, because I think you may as well work with everyone you can to kind of see what works best for you.
100%.
And there's been the thing where I give a list of venues I want to do, mostly comedy clubs that I know are like the great venue, like the Boiler Room, Dailies, Kiwis, and then he's kind of like, well, you need to throw a few wee theatres in there to make it worth our while. So there's a couple of ones like Portico. I'm in Antrim, the Courthouse on Saturday, which is actually selling quite well, and then like Ardoin. But it's like I need those ones to go a bit, because it's kind of there, you know. But a bit of pressure. But you know, the Lyric was class at the weekend there, so
enjoy it?
Passed. Oh, it was brilliant, man. Really, really enjoyed it.
Nice room.
It's lovely, but it was one that was like, I didn't really think too much about it until they were like, yeah, it's hard to get in here. So I'm like, all right,
it is
big pressure, like so.
Big time.
But it was great.
I've never, tea with me, I've done with Shane in it, but I asked a couple of times to do stand up in it and get told no. So you're doing well that you're in.
So I don't know. Again, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a serious actor now. They might have fallen for that trick.
A serious actor. You know, I'm good into acting myself.
Nice. What do you do? Something lined up? Are you?
Yeah, I'm writing a play for Christmas, and it's going to be out. So Secret's out. This is the first place.
Oh, nice. It's an exclusive. What can you say anything about what it is about? Or
nope.
No.
Do
you know where? Can you say a venue even?
Quite possibly made it be in a venue in West Belfast for 2 weeks before Christmas called the Raddies.
There you go.
And it may and possibly could be involving Brassnack Theatre Company.
There you go.
But I can neither confirm or deny.
But it might not be either. For the sake.
This is an exclusive.
There you go. Listen, here we go.
Exclusive on Dave's podcast. But
there you have it.
I think you have to test yourself. So go from the box until the acting, and then see what happens.
See, that's always. I think it's the best thing to have a few plates spinning. The one go's always good.
The acting hasn't been really too good for me, because, as you well know, there's been parts written that were me. And then I
But
went in to do auditions for the part that was me, and then they were like, you're not very like Paddy McDonnell, and I'm like, I am Paddy McDonnell, and they're like, I know, but you're not like him.
But see, with that though, it's like I don't know. I find it.
I must try too hard or something, or I must put a voice on, or I must try and overact it instead of just being natural.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I think I know what you're alluding to. I saw your audition; it was good. So I don't know. It's a strange, because I also think on things like that, for talk's sake, there's a bit of, you know, the old boys club mentality that maybe like producers see or think, and I could think if you write something, you just want to throw all your mates in it, kind of thing. So they're like,
And
actually,
then,
no,
you're going to get serious act or something.
No, there's a couple where we had to go,
Yeah,
all
you're
right,
right.
and then there's a couple where we're like, don't think so,
No,
you know, and
yeah,
it's
I
like,
think
so,
they got it wrong. Yeah,
but then it's hard to see if you write anything, you know yourself. If you write something, you see it a certain way. You see
they see
people
it
in
totally
and
different.
It's totally different now. There were like, if for the Blap I wrote with William, a lot of maybe the ones who ended up in it were not how I pictured it, but then a lot of them were better than I would have imagined, and then a lot of them. Well, not a lot of them actually did the service, but some of them didn't look how I'd imagined.
Yeah.
But then the different ones, you see them, you're like, see, it worked all right, you know. So
get you.
it's a strange old thing, but like auditioning something that's just, it's a bollocks to do. Like, I think
The acting thing, what people don't know, like we go up and tell jokes for an hour, at the most.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and do comedy clubs and stuff, but like as an actor, like they get paid $450, $500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
You're auditioning, and then you have to rehearse everything,
Yeah.
and know it off the top of your head, and then perform it.
Yeah.
And you're going, they don't get a lot of money unless like they're at the top of their game.
Because, you know, to be totally honest, I was offered something, a bit of work acting on in the theatre, and it was, when I heard the dates, it was like, it's going to be hard with the kids, like, and then it was like 2 shows a day for the guts of 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I wonder what the fee is. And when you got it, you didn't want to be rude and go, but it's like, you could earn that doing
In
stand
one
up.
gig,
You know what I mean? So it was like, that's not, for all that time and effort, it's not worth it.
No,
you know.
that's my point. That's
the
the
problem.
But yet I'm going to do it. But
Uh-huh.
so I'm sacrificing everything at Christmas to do this.
But you know what, as well though, if that's something you've done and it's a writing credit, that's there. You know
No,
what I mean?
I know.
That's something you can build
I
on
know.
with other stuff too. So, you know, and that's the thing with, like, with being lucky enough to be serious in Blue Lights. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was something that, because I was totally different. Like, that's how I found the feedback's been, because it's been totally different to what I do normally. People are like, oh fuck, that was, and then when people are like, that was quite good actually.
Yeah.
Yes. And then go, thank you.
My favourite part was in the car.
Yeah, Billy No Mates. Yeah, it was.
Swear to God, it was fucking great.
That
Like,
was good fun. But what people don't know is seeing the fight scene. I fucking wrecked my hand twice, because there's one where I have to hit, like, in the actual final take. It's funny because I punched like a wee footstool, and it just ends up sitting perfectly as it should have done. So it's gone from the side to. But when I did one of the takes, I swung through to hit it, but there was an office chair on its side, and I hit right in there off the leg of the office chair, and it started to bleed a wee bit, and didn't let on to anyone, but it was so sore, and you know, you're like, fuck, I think I broke my finger there. And then I had to go on and fight Frank's character Shane on the sofa, and they go like, whenever you hit him, you're stunt coordinator, you're like, you don't actually hit him, you make it look like you've hit him, so punch through and punch the sofa. And I think, right, okay. And he's like, a proper punch, like punch the sofa. So I hit the sofa as hard as I could, so just where I whacked my hand, obviously a wee bit of wood just in the fucking arm of the sofa, right in there, and I was so sore. So it was one of the when I hit him, I make a grunt. It's like, and it is just me going, like, fuck, you know. And then it's like, you all right? And I'm going, I'm dead on here. And then had to just go and lick my wounds. But that was great fun. Like,
you enjoyed it?
yeah, and then getting put in the handcuffs and all, and then in the car, I was sore in the old shoulders too. Like, but apart from that, it was.
Oh, I know what that's like.
Yeah.
It's
But
not nice.
No, I mean, it would put me off being a bad guy for real.
Oh.
But you know what's awkward about it too? Seeing people, like, and then you do the school runs.
Yeah.
And people sort of, like, more I'd say regular people, like just day to day people would have
People that's
seen
not
you off
involved in the
that.
comedy
Yeah,
scene,
so-
because we think everybody knows about the
Yeah.
comedy scene, but it's because we are in it, we live it.
There's like a bubble in it.
Yeah.
So, but when other people are like, oh, and then you sort of think, fuck, I don't think I'm like at home with the kids and all. It couldn't be more different. But then I suppose you can use it to your advantage. Be like, you fucking miss
I
me.
don't follow.
Yeah,
I'm
happy
Mad
to
Brennan.
that. Yeah.
You don't want to meet Mad Brennan.
No. But then as you could do, get the turkey takes and the hair done, come back as You know, he sorted himself out. He's grand.
Does she throw it back in your face and you're getting on like bread in the day?
She hasn't yet, but she doesn't like it, which is funny because
She didn't like the part.
But no, at the beginning she was like, "Oh, it's really chuffed for me and all," and then she's like, "Fucking, there's someone else that wants to your husband in this." I'm like, "Just go, all right." You know what I mean? You don't have to. You don't have to go.
People say to Andrew all the time, "Do you hate this?" Do you? And Andrew's just like, "No, it's part of his job."
But what does she say about you? Like, because Catherine say all the time, be like, "Oh, it must be fun living with a comedian," and she's like, "No, he's a grumpy bastard." It's the same. Do you get the same?
I make her laugh, so
Yeah. Well,
I make her laugh. Mostly in the bedroom, but I make her laugh. No, but
when you pull the wall
no,
down.
we actually have a bit of crack,
Yeah.
you know. But there is times. I mean, I think it's harder for the kids because, especially the two older ones. Now the two younger ones, we were in the town on St. Paddy's Day, and a local guy, entrepreneur guy, who I know, and everybody will know, winners win. And he came over and he was like, "Here, do you know your dad's a legend?" And Planet just looked him straight in the eye and went, "I already knew that." And he was like, "She's gonna go far." But you know, so Planet goes, my daddy's a stand-up comedian, where I think with the two older ones, with Emmons, they're in secondary school, so there's people actually watch your stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a wee bit embarrassing for a way, but now it's got cooler. I think when you weren't doing as well and you were on the internet, so people didn't really know you, or they were like, "What do you mean your dad's a comedian?" Shit, you know. I think now that you're doing better, it's got cooler, but I think it is tougher for them ones. But the two younger ones, thankfully, have grew up in it, so they see people coming over and getting your photographs. Where the two older ones, that didn't happen, and then all of a sudden it started happening, and then people knew who you were. But Andrea takes it really well. She's just like, and she hates getting a photo took, so she'd be like, "I take the photo," and they're like, "Get in." She's like, "No, I'll take the photo," and she understands it's part of the process. You know, when we go out for a night out, she knows this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's actually other people who would be her friends, or say we meet new couples through other couples, and they would be like, "Is this not annoying?" And Andrew goes, "No, it's part of his job."
Yeah.
And I think they feel a wee bit more. They're like, "This is fucking mental."
Yeah. Yeah. But
Part of life.
yeah, but
Put
yeah,
yourself out there.
I am grumpy, like, anyway, so I take it. I just
Do you hate it or do you like it?
like being bought, like having people. You know what? I like it because, you know, I always try to be and I am as sounding as welcoming to anyone that comes up to you, but I have a face that doesn't look it, and I've been told that a lot. Like, I've people like, "Oh fuck, I see you and you're hard to approach." But see, if you speak to me, I'm sound.
No,
But,
listen, I think
you know?
you're a bigger lad too. You do look a wee bit more menacing. Sometimes people come up to me and go, "I didn't want to say anything," and I'm like, I genuinely like, I'm 100% like.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people, when they do meet you and you sit and talk to them, like a girl asked me for the trolley the other day in the supermarket, and I was like, "Listen, there's no money even in that trolley, so don't be giving me the pound." And she says, "Is that you off the thing?" And I was like, "Aye." And I stood talking, and her husband got out, and he was like, "I watch your stuff," and then I was talking to him. And he sent me a message like a half an hour later, and he was like, "We actually can't believe how normal a person you are."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck do people expect?
Yeah.
I am just a normal person."
But
It's
see,
just-
because a lot of your stuff is mad, people
Yeah.
probably expect you to just be fucking unhinged at all times.
Oh,
so
fuck it. I've met strangers too, my Mob Emmons, and they go, "Fuck no, he lives
Yeah.
up to it." But
I had a great message from a fella the other day, and he was just he says, "I saw you after the marathon stand," because what happened, when I finished, everyone had so many people, and then classic Catherine, "Oh, we're here," so I went to where she said she was, but then they moved with no reception, so they're like, "We're in the field," so I went and stood in the middle of the field by myself, and I was like, "Wait, no sign of him," and he sent me a message, goes, "I saw you standing by yourself in the field after a marathon. I was going to come up to you and go, 'Billy, no mates, but I chickened out.'"
that would have been great.
I had a laughing balls
Nah,
off
that'd
that.
be
That
great.
would be very fun.
Actually,
but,
you should have took a picture and put the lanes
Yeah.
above and below it.
I know.
And posted it.
Fucking hell.
I would have been a meme.
Oh, he could have stuck it up. But I thought, like, sometimes people have great crack, like, don't they?
Oh, aye.
Some of them are funny. Like,
The
that was
ones
good.
I love is people come up and go, "Here, I want to take a picture for my husband. He really, really likes you." And
Yeah.
I'm like, why isn't it just for yourself?
Yeah.
Why don't you just say, "I
Yeah.
want a picture with you"? People try and find an excuse here
Yeah.
in this country for getting the photo with you. It's never for them.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Oh, my wee son loves you. You're like,
Can you get in the picture with all my kids? And the kids are going, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Here.
That I'm getting the photo took with in Alaska, and you're going, "That's the comedian," and they're going, I'm fucking 9.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Are you on YouTube? Well, yeah, but not sort of stuff. I'm not doing arts and crafts, so you wouldn't know me. But it is funny. Like, and do you ever find this is the one thing that baffles me? You get a lot of photos with people, and you do, but no, you'd never see them anywhere. It's like, what are these people doing
People
with
don't
these?
post the photos.
Yeah, so it's weird. It's like, what are they doing? Like sometimes you see it in stories,
groups.
but you're like, yeah, there's loads. So.
When all the bad news comes out about you, and
Oh yeah, the
big
inevitable
investigation,
Yeah,
they'll all come to surface.
I'm like, oh aye,
and
then you'd be like, he grabbed my hole. I didn't.
do you know? Honestly, I do quite a bit of this now. Where nothing is getting rested anymore.
Yeah.
I do quite a bit of it now.
And the old hands closed.
Oh
yeah.
fuck me, like totally like.
See,
but if
old
it's good looking fella, like I'm feeling his arse.
I was saying, like the good old days, I'd have put the hand down the back of his trousers.
I
And
figured him.
twiddled his arse pubes.
Need a wee bit better, but pull out my baby wipes that I have for wiping mine. Give it a wee wiper.
Anyway, Paddy, listen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on.
I'm sorry for being
Look, don't be no we worry. I'm here working all day anyway, so it's good to have you. So you're doing the SSE the 4th of
October, the SSE. Then we're in Dublin doing the Olympia. I think it's the 10th or the 8th, I don't know. And that's selling tickets anyway. And then I'm doing Glasgow on the 24th, which is going to be my biggest show in the O2 Academy in Glasgow. Biggest show in Glasgow. So it's a massive step up from like 300 seaters. This is like 1700, 1800. So
yeah, listen, if you don't
tickets, if you don't try, you don't know.
You don't. And here we just want to say, wake up, Enniskillen.
Yeah,
everybody in Enniskillen, come and see us. Both
literally,
of us,
like
help.
If 100 people's in it, it'd be a good show. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We sold 57 tickets, and it holds 300. I'm not trying to sell these 300. I don't think 300 is going to turn up, but at least another 40 is.
But you know what I would say to them, and it's because I think sometimes comedians nowadays are getting a wee bit not spoiled. But maybe like if they don't sell it out, they're like, that's going to be, just go and do it like it's a sellout.
Oh, listen, the show doesn't change no matter how many's in, and that's the thing with me. And if you've seen me before, it's never the same show twice. I've done Portico twice, and people came to both shows and they were like, they were two different shows, even though they're meant to be the same show. And I went, listen, it's just the way. One night I go on, I feel like doing this, and then the other, I always have loads of material which is different. And it's how I feel on the night, and then you sort of go down that road. So it's maybe a good thing. So yes, there Kelly Havlin and Kelly Havlin on the 8th, and the 7th we're in the Marine Hotel, which is selling really good. So Ballycastle.
So go up, take yourself to Rathline for a day, come back.
On the 6th of December too. And they always sell out. They're great.
Derry loves it.
It's a great city. Liverpool, hot water. If you're watching, I don't know, would they be watching?
No, there would be some, and weirdly enough, I get some people listening in Malaysia. So if you're doing a show in Malaysia,
I'm doing a show in Malaysia.
There you go.
Do you know, that's one of them ones, like I only need one message from somebody, and I'm like, I need to do a show.
Listen, Vietnam, we're coming.
Done up in Australia and ended up in it. Fucking, do you know what I mean?
There you go. Paddy, listen, pleasure.
Thank you, bro.
Fuck, he has me training. Bye.
I'm the sly guy.